Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the May 2021 Discmemberment. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And this, I know we've been teasing this as the short month. It really is in terms of actual titles, in terms of like the whole thing. There's a couple of good sets this month. And there's, a lot of special editions that, from Shout Factory. But overall, the quantity is still low, but it doesn't mean it's low quality. Like almost every one is, give or take a few here, are like big titles that I know I've been waiting for. Like this may be one of the months where I've ordered the most already. Like I've pre-ordered the most already. So this will be a fun month to go over anyway. Yeah,
this one actually has probably one of my most wanted box sets I've seen in months. We'll get to it in the last week of our rundown, but man, it looks incredible. So let's get right to it. These are our Blu-ray releases for the week of May 4th, and this is a very short week. Only 2 titles coming out this week, one of which is our pick of the week. So we'll just kick it off with the one that is our not pick of the week, and that is not because it's a bad movie, because Brian and I have actually seen this one. This one's from Epic Pictures, and it's called For the Sake of Vicious. We got this as a screener a while back.
Or is this a screener? Or was this one? Oh, yeah, it was during that festival, I think. It was a screener we got from, was it not Fantasia? Or was
it was
Fantasia?
A film. It was one of the film festivals, I know.
Yeah.
This one was from 2020. The synopsis here is: an innocent nurse, a tortured maniac, and a suspicious hostage face off against a wave of violent intruders as they descend upon their place of refuge on Halloween night. And man, this movie really does live up to its name. It gets really vicious. If you've ever wanted to see like some brutal hand-to-hand combat, this movie definitely has it.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones that have a lot, for all the violence and gore that it has in it. It also has one of those like those kind of like it's really talky in some levels, in the way that they're trying to get you to, like, you're not sure who you're supposed to believe, kind of thing. So there's a lot of psychological stuff going on in here, and it just made for a really unique movie. I remember one of the more unique ones we saw last year.
Yeah. I remember the violence made quite an impression on me, because it was very realistic and very, like, it escalated very quickly. So if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, you should check that one out. And Brian, you get to take away our pick of the week here.
Okay, and it's an Arrow release. Arrow is really releasing a lot of great stuff lately too. And this is A Ghost Waits, and this is one I wanted to see. This looks kind of cool. So the description, it's from 2020, and it's a man's job requires him to clean a house which turns out to be haunted. In the course of trying to exorcise the ghost, he falls in love with her. So the way I described it, Tim described it as a ghost romance without the pottery wheel, and I kind of said it's cool. It's like a mumblecore Beetlejuice. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it really is, because it's like in the trailer they show it. It's like it's almost like this artsy, like just the style of it, like this artsy independent style film, but with there's a little bit of, the reason I joked about Beetlejuice is because this woman is supposed to haunt, but yet she's just not pulling it off because the guy's not getting scared. It looks really cool, and this, for a movie that, like, I remember hearing a lot of talk about it when it was coming out, but then they really kind of, like, you hadn't heard much since. Like, it really didn't get nominated for anything in the Chainsaw Awards, right? I don't think it was mentioned in there.
I don't remember seeing it now.
So it's interesting that Arrow is releasing such a packed disc with this, but we'll go through it here. It's got the high definition transfer, audio comment. There's 3 audio commentaries, actually. One by the writer-director Adam Stovall, one by Adam Stovall and McLeod Andrews, I guess, who is, I don't know, is he one of the actors? I don't know. And then another one by the cast and crew. So there's, right there, you get 3 audio commentaries alone on a disc is pretty substantial. Then there's a feature called Humanity in the Afterlife, A Ghost Waits, a video essay by Isabel Custodio, exploring the film's themes and cinematic forebears. 8 interviews with cast and crew, moderated by critic and programmer Stern Enzi. Wait a minute. Oh, T.T. Stern Enzi. I was like, what is this kind of like a? I couldn't tell the way that was worded, but I know it's not Tim's fault. He just copies and pastes the way
I just
it
copy
is.
and paste, and we read it.
Yeah, so it's programmer TT Stern NZ. Yeah, well, interview and post-film Q&A with Adam Stovall, moderated by Alan Jones at Fright Fest Glasgow 2020. I kind of like those featurettes when they're at their cons and panels and stuff.
Those are fun because you feel like you're kind of at the con getting to see the panel. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and obviously, as much as you love going to cons, you can't go to everyone, especially we're not traipsing over to Glasgow. So that's kind of cool that we'll get to see that stuff. It's got outtakes, Easter eggs, a theatrical trailer, image gallery, a reversible sleeve featuring newly commissioned artwork by Sister Hyde and original artwork by Julie Hill. And then the first pressing only, you get an illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing by Craig Ian Mann.
Yeah, you don't see that packed a disc for a movie that recent, so that's a really good value there.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely one I want to take a look at. It depends on what Arrow's selling it for. Sometimes their discs are really expensive when they first come out, but then sometimes you can get them later. And Arrow always has those good sales throughout the year, so I may keep an eye on this for the next sale.
All right, so recapping the week of May 4th, just 2 titles: For the Sake of Vicious from 2020, and our pick of the week, A Ghost Waits, a nicely packed Arrow edition from a 2020 film.
Yes.
Moving right along to May 11th. This is quite a bigger week than the previous, and has one of the biggest releases, and that's almost a pun in and of itself. Once you hear the title, we'll get to that in a minute. That's our pick of the week. First up, from Unearthed Films, we have No Reason from 2010. Engulfed by anguish, trapped inside an allegory of torment and carnage, Jennifer's soul seeks the path of awareness and enlightenment. Oh my God, this trailer looks insane. This is like a German film. It's all in German. I said in here that German makes everything scarier. This movie has a lot of nudity, a lot of blood, a lot of bloody nudity, as Brian puts it.
Yeah, it does. It's nudity, blood, and then bloody nudity.
It looks crazy. This looks like one of those. I went down the Serbian film rabbit hole. I didn't watch it, but I went down the rabbit hole of learning about like these really extreme films. And this looks like it kind of fits in that category of where they're trying to make something really extreme.
Yeah, and I mean, there's sequences in this trailer where there's like a fully nude woman just walking through like with all blood on her and just like fighting somebody, and I'm like, this is like if this is just what they show in the trailer, I can't even imagine what's like not shown.
I know.
It's crazy. I did see there's an eyeball scoop foo in there that I don't know if I can may have to kind of grab something in a hand to kind of, because I know I'm going to cringe at that. And this is from 2010, so this has been around a while.
Yeah,
so I'm really interested in checking this out. I'm going to see if it's streaming anywhere. I wonder if it's streaming.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. It does have a few extras on here. It has a making of featurette, an interview with Timothy Baum from Dead Alive, photo gallery, and trailers from Unearthed Films.
Like I said, this one is a good title. I don't know if this is one I'm going to jump to buy until I see it. But next one, this one was I don't remember hearing about this movie, but after seeing this, I really want to see it. This looks like a really cool some cool jump scares in there, and just a really cool plot point. And that is Well Go USA's Morgue from 2019. The story is about a night that Diego Martinez is locked inside the morgue of the Regional Hospital of Encarnacion. There we go. And recounts the paranormal events that the security guard spent. But the trailer for this is phenomenal. It really gives a good taste that you're going to get a lot of cool jump scares. Kind of reminded me a little, I don't think it's found footage, but it's almost like a found footage-esque because of the way it looks like the trailer portrays it. So I don't know, but this one I definitely want to check out. I'm hoping this one is on a streaming service to see if I can check this out before I pull the trigger. But this one looks like a fun one. Yeah,
and even the trailer said it was compared to a Spanish Paranormal Activity. So your idea of found footage kind of hits home there. It does look like it might be sort of like that same, maybe if not pure found footage, at least that same kind of style.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it looks like. So,
all right. So next up, from Dark Side Releasing, they are releasing Seven Sins from 2020. Seven Sins is divided into 7 segments, each one unique in its voice, acting, story, and style. While the 7 deadly sins are cemented in Catholic theology and are always the same, the interpretation by any single person is always different, and this assemblage is no exception. The film uses the themes within its subtext and introduces and then wildly perverts the punishments associated with the 7 deadly sins. The overall atmosphere is one of uneasiness that, in addition to a fair amount of disturbing visuals, is amplified by its pulse-pounding soundtrack. So I don't have any idea what the hell this is from the trailer, but it looks erotic and horror-y.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, it's self-described as an erotic horror franchise. That's our franchise. Anthology. And I wrote franchise. But I remember thinking that it's anthology. But yeah, it looks like it's kind of one of those shock things. They want to shock you with visuals and stuff in there.
Yeah.
But tell a message, through the 7 sins. I don't think this is one I jump out and buy, but if it was on a streaming service like a Shudder or something, I would check it out.
Yeah.
I love anthologies. Anthologies to me are automatically going to get my, my ears perked up and my eyes popped open, so I'm like, But yeah, this one's odd.
No extras on that one though.
Yeah. I think maybe 7 sins is enough. They figured that's enough for the one.
You don't need any more.
Next one's a weird one. I couldn't tell much from the trailer. It's not really a great trailer. So I don't really know what was going on with this, but this one is called Cleopatra. Oh, no, sorry, by Cleopatra's thing, and it's called Scavenger from 2019. It's in a post-apocalyptic world with its own rules. Tisha, an assassin and organ dealer with a dark past, seeks revenge for a crime that marked her life. It looked like it was like a weird version of Mad Max or something.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this is definitely like Mad Max clone. Here. And I'm just not a fan of that. I like the Mad Max movies. I loved Mad Max Thunder Road. I love that movie. But in general, I just don't. We talked about it on the show the other day.
Yeah,
I just don't like I'm just not a fan of the post-apocalyptic. Not that style where like basically society's dead and everybody's gangs of roving criminals. I don't like that. It's too pessimistic for me.
Yeah, it's been done so many times already. It's like, it's almost like noise now. These when they do these type of movies, and and again, like we mentioned, like what we just lived in for the past year is like our closest taste to it in our lifetime, and it's, no thanks.
Yeah,
but
no extras on that one either, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's just.
And speaking of no extras, here's one last one to wrap it up before we get to our pick of the week. This is from Dark Side Releasing, and it's called Astaroth from 2020. Shrouded by the mist of time, she has been forgotten, but there is always someone to remember. Gregorio is a tattoo artist obsessed with Astaroth, a demonic entity lurking in the shadows with promises of desire. So this is so funny, Brian. Me and you had the same reaction. So this trailer looks just like an 80s metal video, and I kept expecting a cutaway to Whitesnake, but it never happened.
Yeah, like I was waiting for Tony Katane to jump out and...
I thought you were kidding because I read these before I watched the trailer. I read Brian's comments and I was like, I don't know. Brian thinks it looks like an 80s metal video. And then just for fun, I actually turned on several Whitesnake videos for comparison.
You got the same taste.
It was the exact same thing. Yeah. It was hilarious.
Yeah, even the song that they play is like, I'm like, oh my God, this total 80s like heavy metal kind of thing. Yeah. But you know what it is? And the worst part though is, it'd be one thing, but there's dialogue going on that you just don't hear. So it's really difficult to tell what's going on in this movie from the trailer, but you get like kind of like a rockin' video with it, but God help you if you're trying to figure out what this movie's about.
Well, before Brian gets to our pick of the week, I did want to mention there is going to be a release of Saw in a 4K version. Now, this is not one I'll be picking up only because I've got that Saw. I think I got the 7-disc series, not the 8-disc series, but
yeah.
I've got the whole set on Blu-ray, so there's no reason for me to double dip on this one for 4K. I don't really need to see Saw gore in 4K.
No, but the price on this is really good, I think, too.
Yeah. So
for 8 movies, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'm good with my current version of Saw, but if you do want the 4K version, it is coming out this week. So take it away, Brian. I know you're really excited about this one and already have it on order.
Oh, yeah, and this is Shout Factory's King Kong, the Collector's Edition. Now, this is the 1976 version, which, I even though, of course, I love the original, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, this one did a great job, I thought, for, as an update. Of course, it's a remake that didn't need to be made necessarily, but, I guess everyone wanted to get, the good thing is, it was like over 40 years later, so it wasn't like they, it had its time to really get, find its audience, and they wanted to give it to a new audience, so I get it.
This one's actually my favorite version. I mean, not to take anything away from the original, because I obviously I love the original, but it's a 30s movie. I mean, come on, it's really old. So in terms of like quote unquote modern King Kong movies, this one I think is one of my favorites, only because I just remember it so fondly from childhood.
Oh yeah, and it started like its own little franchise, because you had King Kong Lives later on, spawning off of this one, and then the original. Wasn't there another? I can't. There may have been even another one in there. I don't know, in part of this one, but. Anyway, for those who don't know the story here, the Big Apple is again besieged by the monstrous King Kong. Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange star in this ambitious remake of the 1933 original, which adds a great deal of camp and good fun to the story. Again, the gargantuan ape battles attacking aircraft high above the streets of New York, this time pulling from the top of the World Trade Center to his plunging from the top of the World Trade Center to his death amidst thousands of horrified onlookers. King Kong won an Oscar for special effects and horror, and the thrills are brought anew to another generation in this classic and classy production. And I remember the poster was so epic, where he had one foot on each of the Twin Towers.
Yes,
and which was kind of cool. Like, it's like, they literally took a more modern building. They modernized everything for this one and like doubled up on it, like, which is what a true remake or kind of sequel would try and do anyway. So I thought it was really cool, and of course you got heavy hitters like Jessica Lange and Jeff Bridges, really with a good cast, and this one was really well done. This is a pretty packed disc, Shout Factory, and I know this is one that's pretty popular too. So. And I already, like I said, like Tim said, I've already pre-ordered this the minute it, like, pretty much as soon as it came out, it was announced, I jumped on this one. So here's the pack list. So the first one is a new audio commentary with film historian Ray Morton, author of King Kong, The History of a Movie Icon. And I did a little digging on Ray Morton, and I found out, first of all, he is no relation to the Morton Salt Empire.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Because I know that's what you're thinking, but he's kind of like one of those every guy type of historians, who watches his movies with a nice cold beer and a bowl of mixed salted nuts. Funny, he still likes salt though, even though and he's really inclusive and friendly, but he prefers his films basically where a character says the title of the film in general dialogue, which this one does, of course. So yeah, so this is probably going to be a good commentary. He's sitting there along with you with a nice cold beer and some nuts.
Yeah, you always love the everyman film critics.
You get too many of these snooty ones, or at least the reputation of being snooty, or whatever role we've made up for them. But it's nice to have a good old guy there that just like watches the movie along with you like that. There's also another new audio interview with special makeup effects wizard Rick Baker, which that's always a solid thing, and I will always watch something that he when he discusses. New Something's Haywire, an interview with actor Jack O'Halloran. Oh, from Superman 2 fame. New on Top of the World, an interview with assistant director David McGiffert and production manager Brian Frankish. I guess he's just kind of Frank. He's Frankish. Sorry, I got tired. It's Sunday night. New, maybe in their wildest dreams, an interview with sculptor Jack Varner. New, there's a fog bank out there. An interview with second unit director William Cronick. So this is one of these discs where they just grab everybody. Everyone. Yeah. New, From Space to Apes, an interview with photographic effects assistant Barry Nolan. New, When the Monkey Dies, Everyone Cries, an interview with production assistants Jeffrey Chernoff and Scott Thaler. Pancakes, by craft service supervisor. No, I'm sorry, that's not really there. It's also got the theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, still galleries, posters, lobby cards, behind the scenes photos. And the disc 2 has an extended TV broadcast version, which I do remember because that's when I first saw it, when it aired on television. And it was a new 2K scan of the additional TV footage from the Internegative and King Kong panel discussion from the Aero Theater 2016. That actually is kind of like a sneaky little special edition that they add at the end there, but that one seems like actually one of my most look forward to one to watch. I think I love panel discussions too.
Yeah, out of this whole month of the discs that I can actually afford, this will probably be the one that I order.
Well, you're getting a lot for it.
Yeah,
definitely getting a lot for it. So
yeah,
Kong is hot now because he's especially they were already talking sequel to Godzilla vs Kong, which I'm very excited for. So.
Oh yeah, and I'm a big Kong fan, so I'm
Yeah.
loving the resurgence of Kong.
Yeah, Tim and I were always Team Kong fans. In fact, remember, didn't you and I just you and I went back on Kong Skull Island one more time at Universal while Olivia and Julie and the kids were doing something?
Yeah, because we're both big Team Kong fans. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so to recap the week of May 11th, we have No Reason from 2010, Morgue from 2019, Seven Sins from 2020, Scavenger from 2019, Astaroth from 2020, and then our pick of the week, King Kong Collector's Edition from Shout Factory, 1976. Looks amazing. Can't wait for that one.
Yes.
All right, so moving right along, already into the third week of May. I told you this was a short month.
Yeah.
So
this, of course, we extended because Tim and I split our picks of the week. And what's funny is they're so similar movies. It's that's kind of one of the reasons why I picked the other one.
Yeah, they're completely interchangeable, as we'll see.
Yeah.
So these are the Blu-ray releases for May 18th. First up, from RLJ Entertainment, who does all of our Shudder originals typically.
Yes.
They're releasing Son from 2021. When a young boy falls ill to a mysterious illness, his mother must decide. You know how people fall ill to illnesses, Brian? You know how that?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of these wordings just kill me.
I know. It's like.
So when a young boy falls ill to a mysterious illness, his mother must decide how far she will go to protect him from terrifying forces in her past. And this one, now, number one, I think Andy Matichak is too young to be playing a mom, but she's a young mom in this.
Yeah, and the kid looks older. He's like an older child, so there's definitely a mismatch there. But I'll buy into it because it looks good.
She could have been a teen mom, you never know. But,
we don't know. Well, remember that could play into the story. They make it very vague what's going on and what her past is, so that could actually play into the story. So we shouldn't actually even judge that part yet until we see it. So
yeah, and this one has some cult stuff, so I'm automatically in. She was apparently from the trailer you get that she was in a cult growing up. So yeah, I'm totally in. I love cult stuff.
Yeah, so that right there, you just saying that there's two clues there now. I think that. That kind of lead to why she's probably a young mom. But
this one does have 2 extras. It's got interviews with the cast and crew and some deleted scenes.
Yes. Well, I'll watch anything with Andy Matichak because she's so of course she was so great in the Halloween movies, and I liked her in Assimilate. So yeah, I'll definitely check this one out. Has this been on Shudder yet? It hasn't yet, right?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember seeing it.
The next one is another one from RLJ Entertainment, and this one is but it's not a Shudder one. It's called Baxter from 1989. The trailer of this cracked me up. But here's the little description. Baxter, a sociopathic bull terrier, stars in this chilling French horror film that blends thrills and black comedy into a truly original tale. Cujo. The inner thoughts of the... Sorry, I couldn't resist. The inner thoughts of the brooding Baxter reveal that he is quite unhappy with his situation, living with an elderly woman who is afraid of him. In search of his ideal master, he successfully plots on how to do away with her. So, yeah, it's really not like Cujo, obviously, but I just laugh because it's they made it sound like a killer dog is the most original thing. And attempts at a similar plan when he becomes dissatisfied with his next owner. It's not long before the ingenious Baxter finds the perfect guardian, a lonely, introverted boy whose macabre interest in Hitler's personal life helps him turn the all-too-willing canine into a thoroughbred killing machine. As Tim points out, he nicknamed this Spuds McKilsey.
Does anybody remember who Spuds McKenzie is? We're just showing our age.
Yeah, the little he had the little patch, right? And it was
he was the Budweiser guy.
Yep.
Dog.
I said I'll let Obi review this one because the trailer was like a really vague teaser type of thing. So I don't know if I'll see if Obi will help take the load of some of these reviewing things and see. Let him know if he likes these killer dog movies. But the voiceover at the end was the best part because it just goes Baxter.
Yeah,
Me vivus de Jean qui pense. And
Baxter.
But the Baxter cracked me up. It was almost like John Houseman saying it in French, But so that was a doozy. Oh, there is actually a feature. There's a new audio commentary. I guess there was an old one by filmmaker Mark Savage and some trailers.
Nice. Okay. Next up, another RLJ Entertainment. They're just hitting it out of the park this month. They released Hunted from 2020. This one is one that you got to see, Brian, but I did not get to see.
Yeah, this is good.
A modern and radical take on the Little Red Riding Hood fable, Hunted is an exhilarating, transcendent, and frequently brutal survival tale that elevates itself with the power of myth and magic while still holding an exacting mirror to present-day society.
You will love
good.
this movie,
Yeah.
Tim. You will love this movie. It's kind of like all the stuff you kind of liked about the movie Alone, but with mixed in with this like the folklore in there. It's really good.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out. All right, well, that brings us to our picks of the week. And Brian and I, like we said earlier, we split on this one, but I'm telling you, these movies are so interchangeable. I watched both trailers, and I think you could swap the trailers, and it would still make perfect sense.
Yeah, no. And what's funny is I always confused them as a kid, because they came out a year apart, but I think they hit cable around the same time. And they always seem to be paired together. Like when Voodoo had the sale, these two were the ones they actually had a 2-pack.
Oh my gosh.
And they were both on sale. I was upset I didn't jump on it, but then in the end I'm kind of glad because I want these sets instead. So but anyway, so I guess I'll do the first one.
Yeah.
It's my turn, and then you do the second one. This one is Shout Factor, and they're both Shout Factor releases, by the way. The first one is He Knows You're Alone, 1980. A young bride-to-be is being stalked upon by a serial killer. She gets help from a former lover, but will they manage to escape? Tim wrote on the night before your wedding.
Because you'll hear that about 20 times in this trailer.
Yeah, in the trailer. And of course, I already pre-ordered this and Tim's pick of the week. It's early time. This one's an early Tom Hanks vehicle, so that's always excitement. And he actually talked about it. Cohn was saying he mentioned it when he was on. I don't know, was it Letterman or not Letterman? I don't know, one of those late night talk shows. I don't know. Cohn said he had saw and they brought it up once. Which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some decent little features on here. It's got new 2K restoration from an Interpositive. New, it came from Staten Island, an interview with director Armand Mastriani. New, Shooting in My Own Backyard, an interview with producer Robert DeMilla. New, Godspells and Blood Weddings, an interview with actor Don Scardino. New, Violence is Implied, an interview with writer Scott Parker. Audio commentary with director Armand Mastriani and writer Scott Parker. It's got the original theatrical trailer, so Tim could hear that again a bunch of times. And original TV spots. So, I mean, and these are not now granted, these are not the Shout Factory collector's editions. These are just standard Shout Factory releases. But what I like when they do this, they take an older, obscure movie and still give it some special features for what you're getting. So you're not just like paying for the rarity of the movie, but you get some nice features on it. So Shout Factory always does a good job, even when it's not their big collector's editions. Yeah,
I agree. And sometimes you could pick these up for fairly cheap, and that just gives you more value, because if you're like me, I'm a sucker for a lot of extras, because that's my favorite part of the Blu-ray is not the movie. My favorite part of the Blu-ray is digging through all the extras and the commentaries.
Well, you know
me.
Stuff. Yeah, you know me. The extras get me. The limited edition tube get me. The free poster if you order in the first 12 seconds gets me. Yeah, I'm the perfect target audience of those.
All right, so like Brian said, this is another Shout Factory release. This one is Eyes of a Stranger. It came out a year later in 1981. A reporter suspects a creepy neighbor who lives in the high-rise building across from hers is a serial killer terrorizing the Miami area. And the trailer from this one, it sounds like Muttley from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons might be the killer, the way he laughs. He laughs just like Muttley. But as Brian pointed out, this one also has a scene with a head in a fishbowl. Apparently that's how similar these movies are.
Both movies. Again, it's hilarious. And that's why it got me confused, because I always remembered that movie, The Head in the Fishbowl, to only find out they both had it. So
my gosh.
So now you have to go, one has Hanks, one doesn't. Or basically, one has Tom Hanks, one has Lauren Two's, or Julie from The Love Boat. Basically, there's your two that you can find.
Now this one has a similar kind of extras set. New, Turning the Tables, an interview with director Ken Wiederhorn. Does have a new 2K restoration from the Interpositive. New, Sunshine State Stalker, an interview with actor John DeSanti. New, Master Slashers, an interview with special makeup effects artist Tom Savini and Dean Gates. That's definitely a must see.
Yeah, so this is probably the better Fishbowl.
Right. Yeah.
Head. Yeah.
New audio interview with composer Richard Einhorn and actor Peter Dupre. And a new audio commentary with genre film critic Justin Kurzweil and film historian Amanda Rees. And Brian, you'll have to remind me the story on these two. Well, I don't think we've seen Justin Kurzweil before.
No, he's new. Justin Kurzweil. He basically uses profanity incredibly. Almost like a painter uses a brush.
He's like the Bob Ross of profanity.
He is. He's like, I mean, a little shit here, little shits, little fucks over here. Oh, there we dropped our F-bomb.
Oh no, I gotta mark this explicit.
Yeah, once a year we drop it. He's a little rough around the edges. But then he's paired with Amanda Reyes. Remember, we've known her. She was known for her amazingly rarely known facts about obscure movies. For example, she knows everything about Dennis Christopher, what he ate for lunch during his shoots. One time, her and Bill Ackerman is another film historian. He's not here in there, but might as well refresh this. He did not know they were recording a commentary together, and each tried to send each other out for Earl Grey tea, steeped no less than 4 minutes, and leading to a very awkward first meeting. So this will be perfect with a guy that just sits there and curses the whole time. It's going to be another awkward meeting. So I think Amanda Reyes, she just gets paired with.
I think she's just awkward.
Yeah, she gets the bad straws, I guess, just because she's always like uncomfortable situation with her commentaries.
Yeah. This one also has a rare original theatrical trailer, which is weird because I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't that rare.
It wasn't that rare. And a still gallery. So, those two good picks of the week there.
Yeah. It cracks me up when you said Einhorn because all I can think of is Finkel is Einhorn. Anytime you hear Einhorn and Finkel, you have to do that line, but that's the rule.
So let's recap the week of May 18th. We had Sun from 2021, Baxter from 1989, Hunted from 2020, and our picks of the week. Brian picked He Knows You're Alone from 1980, a little obscure Tom Hanks vehicle, and I picked Eyes of a Stranger from 1981, which is almost an exact duplicate of that without the Tom Hanks.
Yeah, or the Savini.
No,
this one has the Savini. It just swaps Toms.
Yeah, you're trading the Hanks for some Savini. So
yeah, so you get the acting, but you go for the gore. It's probably a balance.
Yeah.
I think we need to do. You know what I think, Tim? I think we need to do this as we bring back like our classic double feature format, and we'll do these two. Or this could be actually a good upcoming scare battle.
Oh, that would be a really good scare battle.
Actually, This is like a perfection scare battle because you got this is like, the two titans. This is like King Kong versus Godzilla. This is like the ultimate, except, I'm probably giving these films too much credit, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like they're so similar that you don't know who would win. So
for those that don't know, we're working on a proper scare battle for an upcoming episode. So hopefully we'll get to do that. We've got the two movies picked out. Brian's going to watch them. I've already watched them. And we're going to put those head to head in several categories and see who comes out victorious. I think it's going to be a fun little segment.
Yeah, it'd be new. And it's got a great intro, surprise intro host.
We got a celebrity from beyond the grave to record the intro.
Those are, believe it or not, really hard to get. I don't know if you've tried. It's like it's hard enough to get an actual actor or actress or someone that's living well to come on, but then to go that extra step and
And then Brian and I had to do the ritual over Zoom and everything. It was just a pain.
Yeah, it was awkward. I mean, we had to call in the host group in there to help us with it, and Salen came in and guided us through. It was a whole thing. I'll tell you,
it was definitely a big ordeal. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to the last week of May, we have May 25th. And this one has probably our best of the bunch here, at least in terms of, well, I mean, even the disc. I think all these discs are good. But the box sets
I'll tell you, the ones we
incredible.
picked the one we picked for pick our same pick of the week. If that wasn't in there, there's another one that would have absolutely been my pick of the week because it's one of my favorites of all time. So, but we'll get to that when we get through there. So there's definitely an honorable mention for this week.
Now, I did want to point out there's quite a bit of reissues coming out this week. We have a Don't Look Now catalog reissue, which I definitely want to pick up.
Is that the Donald Sutherland ass edition?
I don't know if it's not 4K. I don't know if I want to see his ass in non-4K. I mean, I want the most crispest version of that.
Yeah, because we've been teased with the standard. Like, I have the Criterion version of it, and it's like, it's good quality, but it's not 4K, and so like I've only got like the sample of it.
Yeah, maybe I'll hold off for a 4K version of his ass. I don't know. We'll see. All right. I mean, it's so smooth. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe. Could you imagine
just sparkling there and twice as many pixels as like the...
On like an 85-inch TV, just blow that puppy up, and I don't know.
I just can't wait till the story we hear when like Tim, like Olivia walks in and Tim's got a pause on the screen to just admire it and his explanation to her on what he's trying to do.
I don't know how to describe it. For you guys that have not been longtime listeners or whatever, like there's an ass scene of Donald Sutherland, and it's like his perfect and smooth and ripe as like a little newborn baby. It's just bizarre to see that on Donald Sutherland of all people. It's just it just intrigues me. I don't know why. So
it's like it really is like it's like a wonder to behold.
It's nothing perverted about it. It's like a sense of awe. It's like astonishment. It's like amazement.
Like remember the scene in oh my god, Endgame, where he goes, "That is America's ass."
Yeah.
Like that would be Tim and I. We'd stand there. He goes, "That is Sutherland's ass."
Yeah.
We'd just be like admiring it and like at a professional level.
It's totally above board. It's totally professional. It's just like my ass has never looked that good. It's almost like an envy to it. There's like a jealousy there. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping mine looks better than his does now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I don't know.
If it's not, then we've failed wrong in life.
He is a celebrity. He can afford to have somebody rub oils and all kinds of things in it. I don't know. So it may still look better.
Yeah, and that I think is on this disc actually. Interview with his oil plier.
Oh man.
Oh
all
wow!
right.
Did this
that took a wrong turn
off the rails again? Sutherland, his ass always takes over the conversation.
It does. It takes over the whole show.
Yeah.
So we also have a reissue of Rosemary's Baby, and then a reissue of The Birds and Psycho in 4K editions, which I'm definitely going to pick those up. I've got the Psycho box set that has all four, but I've got to get a 4K release.
I have so many versions of Psycho, but you keep doing this thing, I need to keep doing it.
I'm telling you,
getting these.
I've got the collector's edition DVD. This is not the Blu-ray. This is the DVD, and that freaking thing looks so good.
Right.
And something about the black and white films, when they remaster these things, they look incredible. And I cannot wait to see Psycho in 4K. I just cannot wait.
Yeah, no, and I remember, like, I think I've said the story before. Psycho was one of the first DVDs I purchased. I purchased 4 DVDs, and that was one of them. Because I was like, I want to see like this movie, how good it looks, and now since I was, the format was pretty new at the time. I was so excited to really see like the quality above VHS, and I remember I was just blown away. And I know that edition you're talking about because that's the one I bought. So
yeah, it's incredible. Even on DVD, it's incredible. All right, so let's kick things off here. And Brian, we'll just we'll alternate these extras because there's so many of them in this first set.
Oh my God. Yeah, these are 2 blockbuster sets in this month. One's the pick of the week, so that'll come at the end. But
yeah, so the first one up is from Arrow, and this is a box set. You know how they do these crazy box set of these obscure filmmakers? This one is called Weird Wisconsin, the Bill Rebane Collection, covering movies from 1965 to 2021. And the description here says, alien invasions, haunted pianos, sentient monster trucks. Arrow Video is proud to present the first ever collection of works by Bill Rebane, the epitome of an independent regional filmmaker who built his own studio in the wilds of Wisconsin. He acted for Hitchcock. He searched for the arms of the Venus de Mayo. He turned a VW Beetle into a giant spider, and he's still at work today. And what's funny is I watched a...
That's a resume.
Yeah, that's quite a resume. And what's funny is I watched a review of somebody like doing a, just box set review of this. And he said, the first thing he said was, now Bill Rebane was not a great filmmaker. So that might point you to the quality of the movies on this disc. But
so
I love
very
this.
Ed Woodish, Al Adamson-ish.
Yeah. But, I kind of love that. I don't mind if the movie's bad.
I do too, yeah.
So I will... I'll go through the general special features, Brian, and then we'll kind of go disc by disc. So This has 6 Bill Rebane films, all newly restored from the best surviving film elements. You've got Monster A Go-Go from 65, Invasion from Inner Earth from 74, The Alpha Incident from 78, The Demons of Ludlow from 83, The Game, 1984, and Twister's Revenge from 1988. I do not know if that's based on the board game or not. Or a tornado. Who knows? Maybe Helen Hunt's in it.
Yeah, it could be.
This has a high-definition Blu-ray presentation on all 4 Blu-ray discs. Straight Shooter, a multi-part interview with director Bill Rebane about the making and release of each film in the set. Who is Bill Rebane? A definitive brand-new feature-length documentary by historian and critic David Cairns, featuring contributions from filmmakers, fans, historians, critics, and the cast and crew who worked with Bill Rebane. Limited edition exclusive. And Brian, you found out something about David Cairns.
I did. So he hosts a weekly podcast called Cairnsel Culture. And So and like this commentary, loves to involve all the people in his circle there. So so his most common participants are his third cousin Marty, his friend Charles, and the cashier on Register 3 from his local Harris Teeter grocery store. So this is just that alone makes his commentary worth the whole price of the box set, I think.
I think so.
Because you always want to hear what the people at Harris Teeter say.
The Teeter. Everybody loves the Teeter. This has a fully illustrated 60-page collector's booklet featuring extensive new writing by historian and critic Stephen Thrower. Sorry. I thought it just said Stephen.
It does on my copy. Where is his?
It keeps going on the next cell. So.
Stephen Thrower. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't he he's a film historian?
Yeah. We
missed him. He's the one that had like the bad ERA, but yeah. He's not a pitcher. But
so critic Stephen Thrower, author of Nightmare USA: The Untold Story of Exploitation Independence. That's also a limited edition exclusive. A reversible poster featuring newly commissioned artwork by the Twins of Evil, also an exclusive. Reversible sleeves featuring newly commissioned artwork for each of the films by the Twins of Evil. And that brings us to the actual disc breakdown, which is pretty crazy. So, Brian, I'll let you take disc 1.
Okay, so disc 1 is Monster Go-Go and Invasion from Inner Earth. It's a straight shooter part 1 and part 2, newly filmed interviews about the making of Monster Go-Go and Invasion from Inner Earth with director Bill Rebane. We have Kim Newman. He's got no impressions, but remember, he's a terrible neighbor to Barry Forshaw, who lives across the hall, and as Barry always greets him with a disdain and says, "Hello, Newman." But he's a familiar face or name, I guess, because we've never seen these people. Twist Craze, Dance Craze, 2 early short films by Bill Rebane. So you're getting really more than those films that they mentioned. There's like hidden ones in here. Kidnap Extortion, 1973, a newly restored industrial short directed by Bill Rebane. Stills and promotional galleries. And moving on now, we have Tim will take you through Disc 2.
Yeah, we had to give our voices a break here. Disc 2 is The Alpha Incident and the Demons of Ludlow. So you got Straight Shooter Part 3 and 4, which are the 2 newly filmed interviews about the making of those films. Rebane's Key Largo, a brand new visual essay by historian and critic Richard Harlan Smith. Brian, tell us about Richard Harlan Smith. I kind of remember.
Yeah, he's the guy that only answers to his full name, and he's been known to ignore people for hours at a time until they figure that out.
Okay, yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He's one of the snooty ones, not one of the every
yeah,
guys.
Yeah. He's not one of the everyman.
This one also has trailers and stills and a promotional gallery, and that takes us to Disc 3. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, so Disc 3 is The Game and Twister's Revenge. So that's kind of a funny thing. So maybe it is about the game Twister. But it's got 2 presentations of the game, a.k.a. The Cold, in 1.85 and 1.33 aspect ratio. Straight Shooter Part 5 and 6, the newly filmed interviews with those movies. And it says, Discovering Bill Rebane, a brand new presentation by historian and critic Stephen R. Bissett about his personal connections with the films of Bill Rebane and their importance to regional filmmaking in America. So, Tim, I gave you a little notes here because I feel bad. I'm always taking these films, but I think I'll let you have this one. You can describe him to everybody.
Okay, so according to Brian's notes, Stephen R. Bissett created blank audio recording vessels named Bissett tapes. He's currently still defending himself in a copyright infringement lawsuit from the Philips Corporation and Lou Oddins, creator of the cassette tape. Sadly, Lou Oddins passed away in March of 2021.
Yeah, he just recently died. I was like, as I was writing this, I'm like, oh, it kind of has a sad ending to the story, but He still, obviously, his contributions were for us children of the 80s. There was nothing more important to us than a cassette tape.
Oh my God, yeah, that's where you had to make all your mix. I was trying to explain cassette tapes to the kids one day, and they just could not wrap their heads around it.
You know what it was? Here's how you explain it to someone. It was like, it was our version of the playlist that you'd make on iTunes or Spotify or anything. And like, I'll tell you, there was nothing like more magical for the 80s in terms of that. Remember when you would like try and record that song off the radio?
Yeah,
you have to wait till it came on, and then you quickly hit play and record, and you get a little bit of the bumper maybe from the studio or like before or after. It was great, for the DJs. It was awesome.
But I was trying to explain to them the concept of rewinding. That's what I couldn't explain because they didn't grow up in the age of videotapes, so they don't. True. You can't say it's like a VHS tape. They have no concept of rewinding at all. That makes
or
no
a VHS Bissett, which was his second.
Yes, that was his second project. He just got those patents in just a little bit too late. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I felt bad. I mean, he had everything. He had the name going, and just couldn't do it. But no, I know it's like they never know that the pain of like having to rewind the movie before you bring it back to the video store. You know, the fact that like someone literally finally had to create a video rewinder so you would not burn through your VCR. You know.
Although sometimes when I look back on that stuff, I go, "How in the world did I put up with that crap?" You know, I guess you just never knew. You didn't know any better, so you just did it.
Well, just think of the easy elements today. Like you want to like watch a movie from like a certain part, like say you fell asleep, you know, I mean, and the tape went all the way to the end and you fell asleep, you'd have to go scan through and find it again. Well, now you can just go blink and like go right to that chapter.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got?
We got one more here.
Okay. Yeah. Disc 4. Who is Bill Rebane? This is a bonus disc. This has a Who is Bill Rebane? New feature-length documentary by historian and critic David Cairns on the life and work of the Wisconsin auteur, featuring historians, critics, filmmakers, plus cast and crew members who worked with Bill Rebane. King of the Wild Frontier, a new almost 2-hour impassioned conversation with historian and critic Stephen R. Bissett about the films of Bill Rebane. Outtakes, the Giant Spider Invasion original trailer, gallery of behind-the-scenes stills and promotional galleries for the rest of Rebane's filmography. That's an insane box set.
Yeah. And by the way, that 2-hour conversation that was actually 4 hours, but they cut it to 2 because Bissett had to go move on to his deposition.
All right, well that's it for the Weird Wisconsin set, which looks incredible, but I don't know if I can drop that kind of money on somebody I've never heard of before. But it does look like a super incredible set. I would love to have all those Arrow like weird filmmaker sets. Just look so cool to me.
Well, I'm telling you, keep your eye on those sales, because remember they sometimes 50% off on Arrow sales. So if that's like a $200 set, let's say, you can grab it for $100 one time, you're way ahead of the game, and it might be worth it to just pull the plug on a really cool, because I just one of those ones I call those conversation pieces. Like I'm still kicking myself after watching the Al Adamson documentary that I never bought the Al Adamson set.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean they're just neat. If you're a fan of movies, it's just a neat thing to collect, and you don't know how long Blu-rays are really going to be around. Like I just like, that's the part of. This is what makes collecting physical media fun to me, is these obscure things that you're not going to find Al Adamson stuff on Vudu. You're never going to find it there. No. So this is the way to own those kind of crazy films.
Yeah, and plus, like, if once these discs stop, like, what the heck are we're gonna have to change the title of Discmemberment. So
yeah.
I don't think they'll go away anytime soon. In terms, at least what would happen, this is my theory, if it starts to fade away, like Blu-rays start to fade away, I think the ones that will fade away first are going to be the run-of-the-mill releases, like the newer movies. Maybe they'll go to streaming and they'll whatnot, but like I think what it would do is it could possibly now, because the nostalgia will be built up, you'll get more stuff like this exclusively.
There is kind of a resurgence of physical media with vinyl records have made a comeback. A lot of kids these days are now collecting CDs again. I think there's always going to be a collector's market for them. And if, like you said, Brian, if Walmart stops selling Blu-rays, Target stops selling Blu-rays, which could happen, it could conceivably happen, I think you'll still have companies like Shout Factory that will sell online.
Yeah, I really think, and if for some reason for us that could be better, because you may get like those really cool obscure titles coming out. And so it's like, I think like Blu-ray will be around. I still think it'll be around for a while.
Yeah. All right. So what's our next one up here, Brian, before we get to our pick of the week?
So the next one's another set, believe it or not. This is like the week of the sets, really. And this one is by Warner Brothers, Supernatural, the complete 15th and final season. I have like most of these on regular DVD, and I have up to some of the seasons. I kind of stopped watching it in the middle of the season, but now I'm like in this like weird conundrum where I'm like, I want to kind of finish the set so I have the complete set, but what I may do is just wait for them to do a complete series box set.
Oh, they probably will.
Is inevitable.
Yeah, they will.
And I think I'm just going to buy that and sell the other DVDs back or something. Because I think, because I do want, this is a series I want to watch, even though I kind of liked it almost better when it was almost like kind of an anthology-esque format in the beginning, where like each week was a different like kind of a killer they would go after, and then they change it to narrative, and very few shows do that and succeed. So this is a true testament to a show that was just so well done, and it knew how to adjust to its audience, I guess, and I mean, yeah, maybe you lost some people, a couple of people like me who were into it, and just it became too much to watch so many things. But still, I know a lot of people that are huge fans of this whole series. So this is a series I do want in a complete form. So I'll probably probably not gonna buy this thing, and I'm just gonna wait until because by the end, I guarantee you by the end of the year, if it's not already announced and we just don't see it yet. There will be a complete series box set, and it'll probably be really fantastic. Like it'll be in like the black car or something,
Oh yeah, I think I stopped watching around
cool.
season 9. So I
think
probably,
that's where I was around too.
I'd probably have to go back and start over from the beginning to really. At some point, I will probably.
That's what I would do.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that's why I think I'd buy a box set of this. But anyway, of course, Sam Winchester grew up hunting unearthly horrors, but now law school and a normal life beckon. That is until Sam's estranged brother Dean appears with troubling news. Their father has disappeared, a man who's hunted evil for 22 years. So to find their father, the brothers must hunt what he hunts, and Sam must return to the life he'd rather leave behind. So that's just the basically synopsis of the beginning of the show there. So yeah, like Tim said, we'll go back and finish the series. Same here. So it's got some nice stuff on the disc. New Supernatural, End of the Road. New Supernatural, Family Don't End in Blood. There's a new gag reel, which is probably one of the best features on there because Jensen Ackles and oh my god, what's his Jared Padalecki. They have a great relationship. You always hear, and they're always joking around. So it's probably a really great feature on the set. The Supernatural 2019 comic panel, because I know there's a comic series that's pretty popular too.
Yep.
Winning Baby, a Supernatural giveaway, Winchester Mythology, Midwestern Heroes, and Supernatural: The Long Road Home, a special retrospective episode.
Nice.
So, but I bet you the complete series set is going to be unbelievable for that.
Yeah, that's one I would definitely pick up because I really did like that series.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got another one from Shout Factory, and as Brian alluded to earlier, this would have been our pick of the week had we not come across the our actual pick of the week. And this
100%. I love this movie.
This is actually the pick of the week I could actually afford, so this might end up being my actual pick of the week in terms of the one I actually order. This is from Shout Factory, and it is The Hand from 1981. John Lansdale is a comic book artist who loses his right hand in a car accident. The hand was not found at the scene of the accident, but it soon returns by itself to follow John around and murder those who anger him. And of course, this is a Michael Caine vehicle.
One of my favorite Michael Caines from the 80s.
So, in that term alone, it's a definitely a must buy. This one
you've seen this, right? You've seen this movie, right?
Long ago. It's definitely due for a rewatch.
And this is one I want to do actually as a main episode too, because this is one of my favorites. I used to watch all the time as a kid when I had cable.
Let's put that one on the list because I've been wanting to watch this one again for a while.
Oh yeah, no, this will be guaranteed. We'll get this on.
All right, and then we could do all our bad Michael Caine impressions again.
Because I know everyone loved that episode for Dress to Kill. So.
All right, so this one has a new 2K restoration from an Inner Positive, new interview with director Oliver Stone, new interview with actor Bruce McGill, new interview with actress Andrea Markovici, new interview with producer Edward R. Pressman and actress Annie McEnroe Pressman, audio commentary with director Oliver Stone. I did not know Oliver Stone directed this.
It's like another. It's one of. I think it's one that a lot of people don't realize. So
yeah, and then a theatrical trailer. So. Brian will take our last one before our epic pick of the week.
Yes. And that one is Benny Loves You from Epic Pictures from 2019. Kind of reminded me at first until I realized it's a teddy bear and not like a character, kind of like a Five Nights with Freddy kind of thing. But anyway, it's kind of, you could call it the Evil Ted movie. Yeah. But anyway, it's Jack is desperately trying for a new start in life, but when he throws away his childhood bear Benny, it's a move that can only end in death. So, yeah, like as Tim said, he's wondering if we're reaching the peak saturation of horror movies featuring stuffed mascots and animatronics. I mean, we just had Willy's Wonderland. I mean, we had Banana Splits earlier in the year.
And we had the Puka and Puka Lives on Hulu.
Oh, yeah, and then Five Nights at Freddy, as I mentioned, in the games. Yeah, I mean, it looks silly, but kind of, I bet you it's a fun movie.
It still looked good. I still like the trailer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely looks like you'll get something out of it. Like, you'll probably have a good time watching it.
Yeah. All right, so that brings us to our pick of the week. This set, it just looks. I was absolutely loving with this set when I first saw it announced, and I watched if you go on YouTube, you can watch a video preview.
Like a 5-minute preview for it, which is really cool.
And I don't know why it appeals to me so much other than, well, let me tell you what it is. It's the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee Collection, 1962 to 1972. Well, number one, it's got Christopher Lee. Number two, it's that time period I love, 60s, 70s. And then just the cool stuff on this disc. It's just a neat concept. It's not like every movie Christopher Lee ever made. It's a very select group of movies that he made in a particular time period overseas, and that just appeals to me. I just love the uniqueness of this set. And when you see the extras on this disc, it's a 9-disc set. Now, the only bad thing about this, it is pricey. It's $150, and that comes out to about $30 a movie, but because there's
it also comes with a book. It comes with a novel, an 88-page book, like hardcover book in here.
Yeah, but that's offset by, as we'll get into, there's a lot of other stuff on here, so we'll kind of go through it. I'll read you the synopsis just because it'll kind of explain a little bit more what I'm talking about. He remains one of the most beloved horror fantasy icons in US-UK pop culture history, but Christopher Lee delivered several of the most compelling, acclaimed, and bizarre performances of his entire career in 1960s Europe. The Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee brings together 5 of these Lee classics: the 1964 gothic shocker Crypt of the Vampire, the 1964 cult hit Castle of the Living Dead, co-starring an unknown Donald Sutherland. There he is again. Hopefully his ass is included. 1962
His set just went off the list.
62's celebrated Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace, 67's lurid favorite The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, and the rarely seen 1963 oddity Challenge the Devil. This is the cool part. With the 24 surviving episodes of the 1971 Film Polsky anthology series Theater Macabre, hosted by Lee, all remastered from original negative materials with over 10 hours of trailers. 10 hours, guys. 10 hours of trailers, rare promos, audio commentaries, and vintage interviews, plus the Castle of the Living Dead soundtrack and an all-new 88-page book by Lee biographer Jonathan Rigby. This is just an incredible set. And Brian, we'll take these again. We'll alternate these. I'll let you go with disc 1 because my voice is already shot.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. There's a lot of stuff in here. So disc 1 is The Castle of the Living Dead from 1964. In the final film of his early 60s European period, Christopher Lee stars as a 19th century count who invites a theatrical troupe for a weekend of horrors that boasts an enthusiastically creepy performance by Lee, startling locations in Lazio, Italy's Orsini Odescalchi Castle, and Park of the Monsters. It says second unit direction by Michael Reeves, Witchfinder General, I guess was one he did. It says, and the screen debut of Donald Sutherland and his ass as both a doofus gendarme and a hunchbacked hag. Okay, if they do not show his ass in this with those 2 characters he plays, I'm sorry. Philippe Leroy, the night porter, and Jacques Stani, Violence in a Woman's Prison, co-star in this 1964 French-Italian co-production from American producer Paul Maslansky, who would go on to produce Deathline. Oh, that's that one I loved with Donald Pleasance. Remember, I watched it for the horror channel.
Yeah.
And the Police Academy movies.
Wow.
This has got to be the most obscure description
gosh.
of a movie with the side tangent references that it gives you. And fellow expat writer-director Warren Kiefer, and whom Sutherland would name his son.
That's cool.
This is like the Donald Sutherland show all of a sudden here. Stop stealing his thunder. You're stealing Christopher Lee's thunder, Mr. Sutherland. It says, now scanned in 4K from the Italian negative for the first time ever. And it's got a brand new 4K restoration, as we mentioned, from the Italian negative. It's got audio commentary with Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson and film writer Troy Howarth, of course, our Statler and Waldorf. It's got an audio commentary by film writer Kat Ellinger, who she's been grandfathered in. So you got some oldies but goodies in there already on this disc.
You got to bring the pros for those. For this one.
Oh yeah, no, they're not fooling around. They're not getting every man film historians with this one. From the Castle to the Academy, interviews with master producer Paul Maslansky, and The Castle of the Mystery Man, Robert Curti, Order of Mavericks of Italian Cinema, on writer-director Warren Kiefer. Yeah. Oh, and also there's a CD soundtrack mixed with this one, so... Jeez, that's just disc 1.
That's just disc 1, yeah. Disc 2, Challenge the Devil, a.k.a. Catharsis, from 1963. In the most obscure film of his early 60s Italian period, if not his entire career, Christopher Lee stars in this brilliantly bizarre combination of neo-realist crime thriller, tawdry Christian melodrama, fizzy cabaret musical, and trippy gothic horror, culminating in a gang of bongo-crazed delinquents menaced by a white-haired Lee as a sinister Victorian who may be Satan himself. George Artisan, Hercules in the Haunted World, and Adriana Ambisi, Fangs of the Living Dead, star in this staggering 1963 oddity that marked the sole screen credit of writer-director Giuseppe Vigezzi, who committed suicide shortly after its commercial failure. Also known as Catharsis and Little Seen for over 50 years, it is now scanned in 2K from the Italian negative for the first time ever. Has a brand new 2K restoration of the film from the Italian negative, Dance with the Devil, interview with Roberto Curti, author of Mavericks of Italian Cinema, The Importance of Being Giorgio, interview with Giorgio Artisan over 2 decades, and a trailer. Wow.
Oh. Moving on now, Disc 3, Crypt of the Vampire. And this one's from 1964. It says, in a lavish gothic shocker inspired by Sheridan Le Fanu's immortal novella Carmilla, Christopher Lee delivers a rare hero turn as nobleman Count Karnstein, whose foreboding castle teems with ancestral curses, unnatural desires, philosophical hunchbacks, and grisly acts of vengeance. Boy, that's a sometimes you get a house with a plumbing problem, but he seems like he's got a bigger deal. Adriana Ambisi, Fangs of the Living Dead, co-stars in this 1964 Spanish-Italian co-production, also known as Terror in the Crypt and Crypt of Horror, directed by Camillo Mastroianni, and Angel for Satan as Thomas Miller and Robert Spafford from a screenplay by Giallo Master. I can't speak. There's too many names. By Giallo Master Ernest Gelstadi, who did All the Colors of the Dark, as Julian Berry, and Sergio Leone as protege Tony Valeri in My Name Is Nobody, and Robert Bohr, who's actually quite entertaining. Now featuring...
That's a lot of names.
It's just too many. They all blended into one. That's why I couldn't read names I knew anymore. Anyway, it's featuring a 2K scan from a fine-grained 35 masterprint. Well, there's some buzzwords in there. It's also got a new 2K restoration. They said that again. From the 35mm fine-grained master original trailer.
All right.
So that disc comes down. That disc is just full of names.
Yeah. It's just names after it. It's just credits. Disc 4, Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace from 1962. Shortly after their hit collaboration on The Hound of the Baskervilles, Christopher Lee and director Terence Fisher, Horror of Dracula, returned to Holmesiana for Lee's sole feature film portrayal of the world's greatest detective. Shot in Berlin with That's funny. His sole feature film portrayal. I would have swore to you Christopher Lee played Sherlock Holmes more than once. I would have sworn to you.
Yeah. Well, no, I guess it does say sole. But I was thinking maybe it's just a Euro version, but they distinguish that. They say sole
feature film. Yeah. Shot in Berlin with Hammer regular Thorley Walters as Dr. Watson. Lee considered it to be one of the best things I've ever done because I tried to play Holmes really as he was written, as a very intolerant, argumentative, difficult man. Which that's true. You don't see him depicted in films enough as the a-hole he really was in the books. Senta Berger, When Women Had Tails, and Ivan Desny, The Marriage of Maria Braun, co-star in this 1962 West German-French-Italian co-production produced by Arthur Brauner, Vampiros Lesbos, from a screenplay by Kurt Siodmak, The Wolfman, and based on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Valley of Fear, now scanned in 2K from the German negative, new 2K restoration from the German negative, and audio commentary with our good friends, film writers Kim Newman and Barry Forshaw.
Yeah, so they're together for sure here, and they're going to tormenting each other from across the table.
All right.
Disc 5 and 6. Okay, synopsis. This is 5 and 6 is just one movie, though. It's Theater Macabre from 1971 to 1972. So is there two, I guess?
I don't know. Maybe it's just they just started just throwing disc in there at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to try and read this nice and slow because I see a lot of names again. Okay. Christopher Lee hosted this anthology... Oh, that's why it's this show. Okay. Christopher Lee hosted this anthology television series originally produced by Film Polsky, Knife in the Water, The Tin Drum, and in the tradition of Alfred Hitchcock Presents and Boris Karloff's Thriller. Lee delivers the intro and outro for each half hour as his imposing and often cheeky best, while the tales themselves, adapted from stories by Poe, Dostoevsky, I knew I was going to mess up Dostoevsky, Ambrose Pierce, Robert Louis Stevenson, and Oscar Wilde, are written and or directed by filmmakers that include Andrei Zulawski, Zulawski, Possession and Academy Award winner Andrzej Wajda, Man of Iron, dubbed into English and featured additional dialogue by Jesse Lasky Jr., The Ten Commandments and Seven Women from Hell, with new theme music by Ron Goodwin, who also did Village of the Damned and Frenzy. It has remained largely unseen since its brief airing on American TV in 1971. These 24 surviving episodes have now been scanned in 2K from the original negatives. Wow. Talk about like a gold piece to have in a set. Like, that's something you will never see anywhere.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this set. There's just so many rarities in this. Like, it's just packed full of like interesting discussion pieces, you know?
Oh, and I wanted to get a tip while you were reading one of the things. I quickly looked it up. So if you plan to order this, I highly say to recommend ordering it direct from Severin Films. It's $105 on there. Amazon has it for over $150, and it's not according to Amazon, they're not even getting them until June.
Wow, yeah.
So
I don't know, 105. I might pull the trigger on this one.
Yeah, that's not bad for this.
No.
And my birthday isn't the end of May here, so I know I'm going to get some birthday money, so I might have to pull the trigger on this.
All right, coming up on Disc 7, The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism from 1967. Christopher Lee stars as Count Regula. I guess he eats a lot of yogurt, you know?
Yeah, he eats a lot of like
fiber,
yogurt and bran.
Yeah, Activia. Count Regula, an insane nobleman found guilty of murdering a dozen virgins and drawn and quartered for his crimes. But when a lawyer, former Tarzan Lex Barker... Oh, I had to read that. I was like, his lawyer is a former Tarzan?
I know. It's like is the lawyer the former Tarzan or the actor?
Or is he like Phil Hartman, unfrozen caveman lawyer?
Yeah, that's exactly what I picture, like in this role.
When a lawyer, former Tarzan Lex Barker, is summoned to the Count's castle 35 years later, he will unlock a quote-unquote wildly entertaining odyssey of torture, dismemberment, and creepy Bavarian locations that is equal parts Mario Bava and Hieronymus Bosch. Karen Dorr, You Only Live Twice, and Dieter Epler, Slaughter of the Vampires, co-star in this 1967 underrated gem, also known as Castle of the Walking Dead, Blood of the Virgins, and The Blood Demon, directed by crimey veteran Haraldi Reinl and loosely based on Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum, now scanned in 4K from the original German negative with all new special features. Has a new 4K restoration from the original German negative. Audio commentary by Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson and film writer Troy Howarth, which we mentioned before. Audio interview with actress Karen Dorr. Location featurette, theatrical trailer, teaser trailer. Oh, I get all the German featurettes now.
Right. We need Ken.
Yeah, Ken's going to kill me for these pronunciations. Okay. Yeah. Die Schlangengrube. Die Burg des Grauens. German Super 8 Digest Short. Die Schlagengrube des Grafen Dracula. German Super 8 Digest Short. Poster gallery, behind the scenes still gallery, and a restoration sideshow. Take it away, Brian, for disc number 8.
Disc 8. Wow. Relics from the Crypt. And this is a collection of interviews with... Oh, so this isn't a movie. This is just the bonus stuff.
Yeah, this is just bonus stuff.
Like, as if you didn't get enough, right? It says, a collection of interviews with Christopher Lee over the years and other related horror featurettes, including the first ever release of the recently unearthed 20-minute 1964 Swiss TV documentary, Horror! Because there's 3 exclamation points there. Featuring interviews with Lee, Boris Karloff, Vincent Price, Roy Ashton, Roger Corman, and behind-the-scenes footage of the Gorgon and Mask of the Red Death. Wow, what a feature to just sneak in there like that, like all the way at the end when we're like exhausted, you know? It's like that's like putting like the most exciting reveal of a movie at like the last like 4 seconds of a 4-hour epic, you know? And then there's Horror, the Swiss. Why did they just repeat it? Oh, because that's the description. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So we just went over that. It's 16 minutes, by the way. That's the new information we have, and it's in French actually with English subtitles, which is kind of cool. Behind the Mask, Christopher Lee remembers Boris Karloff. New edit of the unfinished 1991 documentary by Ian Ruff. So I guess it's the rough cut of that.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. CinemaScope 1976 Belgian TV interview with Selim Sassoon. Is that like Sassoon or like ooh la la Sassoon? I don't know. Anyways, 52 minutes French with English subtitles. Colin Grimshaw interviews Christopher Lee in 1975. Colin Grimshaw, doesn't that sound like someone being like the Harry Potter universe?
It sounds like the old guy that lives in the haunted mansion on the hill. Oh, that's the old Colin Grimshaw place.
Oh, yeah, like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Like, go find him. Oh, we almost missed this one, but we've already discussed him. But audio interview with Christopher Lee, accompanied by stills from the David Duval archive and video introduction with David Duval. That's actually, you ever see him? I think he does those interviews on, he does those openings on some of the Full Moon.
Yeah, I've seen him. He's
yeah.
pretty much nothing like what we
Yeah, not at
described
all.
him.
Except possibly the shirt. I don't know.
Yeah, the shirt comes close.
Yeah. Monsters and Vampires, an interview with pioneering horror movie historian. Oh, we missed this.
Ooh.
He's a horror movie historian of all things, Alan Frank.
Well, he's not. At least he's not Frank-ish.
Yeah, he's not Frank-ish. He's the real Frank. The other guy was just Frank-ish. Maybe this is the Frank-ish that he tried to be. So, Cody, I apologize. We don't have an official one. You're going to have to piece this together from our scramblings here. But I bet you, though, he's like, he does sometimes I think he gets together with his other horror historian, Bob Stein. So they're Frankenstein together. So I think that's probably what goes on there. But anyway, the Crypt Keeper, making a Crypt of the Vampire featurette with screenwriter Ernesto Gastaldi, assistant director Tony. Tony. I added an Oni. Tonino Valeri, and film Oh my God, Tim, another
so
one.
many. Oh.
Film historian Fabio Melelli. I actually tried to get this Fabio's news, but he's still recovering from a bird hitting him in the face. So, Coaster Radio fans.
That's an inside Coaster joke.
Yeah, so we really don't have anything for him. Sorry, this was too hard to read through. Jeez.
We'll get him next time.
Okay. O Sole Mio, it's now or never. 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and She'll Fall for Me, 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Christopher Lee and Gary Curtis music videos with optional Gary Curtis audio commentary. This is there's your $105 right there, just for that. A Christopher Lee music video.
Oh my God, I gotta have this.
And I swear I'm gonna lose it if Tony Katane appears in that somehow. But The Invincible Sir Christopher, filmmaker Felipe Mora recalls Lee. Outtakes from To the Devil, a Daughter, Theater of Death 2001 DVD interview session covering the most frightening films ever, Black Masses, Police Academy 7, and more. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I don't know if I just read that wrong. I get Police Academy 7 is a ridiculous movie, but is it really the most frightening film ever?
I guess it depends on your viewpoint there.
Yeah, I think that's just worded weird. I think they're saying frightening films ever, comma, Black Masses, but I love how Police Academy 7 is featured. In who would have ever thought you could get to a connection from Police Academy 7 to an epic box set with Christopher Lee?
I've got to have this set. I've just got to have it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I have to have it. Yeah, I think it's almost a no-brainer now. University College Dublin 2011 Q&A with Sir Christopher Lee. Disc 9. Oh, well, I'll just take it.
Yeah, just take it. It's short.
Yeah, it's just the Castle of the Living Dead original soundtrack on CD disc. And then there's also the all-new 88-page illustrated book by Lee biographer Jonathan Rigby.
I just have a feeling this set could be one of those that like skyrockets in value because if they don't make it anymore, and it's got such crazy cool extras on it. I just see how this one, if you don't grab it now, could really be gone. And
I don't mean and if you think about this, $105 is not bad for this.
No, I mean you're talking. Yeah, if you want to break it down just on a pure film basis, yeah, that's $20. Which is not bad in and of itself, but all those extras on it. I mean, and it's not just extras. It's like obscure stuff, like really cool obscure stuff. It's not just like, oh, it's got a commentary or it's got an interview or a featurette. I mean, this is really neat stuff. Like 21 episodes of a Polish horror anthology that's never been seen in America since '71. How cool is that?
Yeah, and I mean, getting you're getting to see, you even get some Donald Sutherland. You get Tony Katane singing a duet with with Christopher Lee. I mean, come on. Yeah, no, I think we need this, Tim. We need this.
I've got to have
both
this.
of us need this in our the monolith already. I think I just heard it I heard it drip, and it's just salivating out there hearing.
I'll tell you, I've not. I'm saying this genuinely. This year, I have not seen a box set I've wanted as bad as this set.
Yeah.
For the entire year thus far, this has been my absolute most wanted disc.
I think this is like right now. I'd say last year's the set to have was that Friday the 13th one. I think this is the set to have this year already, and we're only we're only about halfway through this year. But unless something like shocking comes out, like a new Ultimate Nightmare on Elm Street set or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna beat this right now. This just because of its combination of amount of special features and its rarities of the special features, and it's the uniqueness of it. It's like it's one of those box sets that like any film, you don't even have to be a horror person. Any film like fan looks upon this set and sees it on your shelf and is going to get intrigued. And when they see all this stuff, they don't even know what half the stuff is, and they may want to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. This it just looks incredible. So, anyway, guys, we'll wrap up our month of May. I thought this was going to be a short month, but with those extras, man, it really kind of padded this episode out.
That alone, that extended it.
Yeah. So let's recap the week of May 25th. We had Weird Wisconsin, the Bill Rebane collection, which is a cool box set, which might have been a pick of the week on any other week.
Yeah.
Supernatural, the complete 15th and final season. The Hand from 1981, the Michael Caine vehicle. Benny Loves You from 2019, and then the pick of the week, the awesomely cool. Go to YouTube and check out the preview of this. I think you'll like it even more.
This could be pick of the year, actually.
It's so cool.
Right now it's in running. It's definitely pick of the month. Could be pick of the year.
Yeah, we need to kind of keep track of the ones that we think might be picks of the year, so we can do our year-end review. That might be a cool thing to look.
Well, that's I mean, right now that's easy. We just go back like the first 5 months here, and we start compiling them. I'll work on that. I'll compile them and make a file. Yeah.
So that was the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee collection from Severin Films. A fantastic set of some really obscure Christopher Lee titles. That one looks amazing. So, guys, thank you for joining us for our May Discmemberment. Go grab some of those discs, and we'll get ready for June next month. We'll see what's coming out. See if we'll have a shorter month or a longer month. I don't know what the summer has in store for us yet, but we'll.
Yeah, I know it's like one of these hit or misses because you don't know what's like. It's hard. It's been hard to dictate because of the with the catch ups from the pandemic and just all this kind of things. It's like, it's like. So there was that time period where they were rushing stuff out to home release because that was the only way you could see stuff. But I wonder if it's going to get back to like more of that even keel now.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you back here next month for another Discmemberment.
See you later.